Circumventing the process, but I like circumvention.
Thank you, Nanaba. I think let our Ghanaianness be fully displayed in this contest. We started off by saying that it's not an avenue for scoring points and making accusations and counter-accusations, more so when they have no foundation, like has just been put out there by my brother, who is a Ghanaian, and is around my age, is a brother. The point is simple. Police have not arrested anybody for fake news. What we are talking about is that there is a law that says that if you go out there and start putting things out there that has the potency of bringing the security of the state into disrepute to a level that it will create confusion and for our very survival to be destroyed, we will deal with you. It's as simple as that. So please, don't let us come out with sensation. You are looking at a pure case of clickbait. That is what you are just saying. But police have arrested people for fake news. You click on it and there's nothing like that. That's clickbait. Please, let us focus on the issue of finding solution to where the issue at stake and start creating confusion in the midst of a peaceful environment where minds are at work finding solutions to problems. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The IGP has spoken.
Now, let me go to the question you asked.
Absolutely.
If if I had known this issue would have come out, I would have read the specifics because it was published. Somebody was published. But let's leave it as it is.
Let's leave it.
Desist from putting out misinformation or disinformation. The Ghana Report Summit is organizing an event to help us deal with misinformation and disinformation. And I encourage everyone to pay attention to it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rashida, and the Ghana Report for this very important summit on the issue of misinformation and disinformation. This summit cannot have come at a better time, especially in the run-up to the election of 2024. This is the political season, and this is the season where all political parties and candidates in the election are making their best effort to transmit their messages to the electorate. I have always strived for accuracy, and I've urged members of my team to always be truthful and honest and accurate in the messages that we put out to the electorate. Unfortunately, we are in our team having to spend a lot of time to deal with fake news that is either attributed to me or to other members of the NDC. This takes a lot of time and effort. And so I think that the discussions that you're going to have here should be useful in trying to create the space for the electorate to be able to absorb, honest and truthful messages from all the players in the political space. By training, I'm a communications and media person, and by my training, we were taught to be accurate, truthful, and honest in the communications that we put out. And I have urged my members to do the same. And so I want to wish you a very successful summit. And it's my hope that the representatives of government that are a big source of such fake news will make commitments, to be truthful and honest and accurate in the kinds of messaging that they put out. It is my hope that the lessons learned from this summit will be applied so that they can create a conducive atmosphere for every person in the political space to be able to communicate on what their objectives are and what they intend to do to improve the fortunes of our people. I thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Hello Ghanaians, support the Ghana Report and stop fake news to deal with information and disinformation. Let's stop fake news.
Madam Chief Justice, Minister for National Security, Minister for Information, the Deputy Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Asukwa, and other members of Parliament, Inspector General of Police, and other security chiefs, Chairperson of the National Commission on Civic Education, the Director General of the National Service Bureau, Director General of the Cyber Security Authority, Managing Editor of the Ghana Report, Niga, Nime, Name, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished invited guests, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. I'm grateful to the Managing Editor of the Ghana Report, Rashida Sani, for the invitation to be here today. Today we gather to discuss a topic of great importance to our democracy, dealing with misinformation and information, election 2024. This discussion is relevant and crucial to preserving the integrity of our democratic process. Ghana stands proudly as a beacon of democracy in Africa. Since the return to constitutional rule in 1993, with the promulgation of the Constitution of the Fourth Republic, after 3 decades of military rule, we conducted 8 successful general elections. These elections have resulted in 3 peaceful transitions of power, showcasing our commitment to democratic principles and the rule of law. The peaceful transitions of power is evidenced by the changes in national political leadership from the New Patriotic Party to the National Democratic Congress and back, underscores the maturity of our democratic institutions and the resilience of our electoral processes. Our democratic journey has been made possible by the active participation of the citizenry, a robust civil society, and a free media. These elements reinforce collectively Ghana's reputation as a stable democratic nation. It is within this context that we must address the growing challenge of misinformation and disinformation, which threatens to undermine the democratic gains we have made. Ladies and gentlemen, since the return to constitutional rule, each election held has contributed to the consolidation of the nation's democratic credentials. The seamless transitions of power are testaments to the strength of our democratic institutions. Our democratic credentials are solidified further by the vibrancy of civil society and the independence of the judiciary. These institutions have made significant contributions to safeguarding the rule of law and ensuring that the will of the people is respected. Our media landscape, characterized by diverse and free media, has been effective in promoting transparency and accountability. The Electoral Commission has consistently demonstrated its attachment to conducting free, fair, and credible elections. The Commission's dedication to transparency and its efforts to engage with all stakeholders have been crucial in maintaining public confidence in the electoral process. Ghana's democracy is not just a model for Africa, but I dare say for the world as well. Our ability to uphold democratic values in the face of various challenges has earned us the respect and admiration of the international community. However, as we prepare for the 2024 general elections, we must remain vigilant and proactive in addressing emerging threats to our democracy. As President, I undertake to guarantee the 2024 general elections will be conducted peacefully, transparently, and credibly. The success of our democracy hinges on the integrity of our electoral process. It is our collective responsibility to protect this process from any form of manipulation, interference, or intimidation, including the pernicious spread of false information. As we approach the 2024 general elections, the Akufo-Addo government is dedicated to upholding the highest standards of electoral integrity. We recognize that the peaceful conduct of the elections is essential to sustaining public trust in our democratic institutions. To this end, we've taken several measures to ensure that the electoral process is free, fair, and transparent. Our security agencies have been directed to remain impartial and vigilant in maintaining law and order throughout the electoral period. The police service in particular has been tasked with ensuring that all political activities are conducted peacefully and within the confines of the law, including the law on vigilantism. We're also working closely with the Electoral Commission to provide the necessary support for the successful conduct of the elections. In addition to these measures, we've launched public awareness campaigns to educate citizens about their rights and responsibilities during the electoral process. These campaigns aim to empower voters to make informed decisions and to participate actively in the democratic process. Ladies and gentlemen, misinformation, which refers to false or inaccurate information spread unintentionally, and disinformation, which involves the deliberate dissemination of false information to deceive, pose significant threats to our democracy. False narratives can distort public perception, undermine trust in our institutions, and even incite violence. As we have seen in various parts of the world, the unchecked spread of misinformation and disinformation can have dire consequences for democratic stability. The digital age has transformed the way information is disseminated and consumed. While this has brought numerous benefits, it has also created fertile grounds for the spread of misinformation and disinformation. Social media platforms in particular have become hostiles for the rapid dissemination of false information. The impact of misinformation and disinformation on the electoral process cannot be exaggerated. False information can skew public perception of candidates and political parties, leading to uninformed decision-making at the polls. It can also create confusion and distrust, undermining the credibility of the electoral process. Moreover, disinformation campaigns often exploit societal divisions and amplify existing tensions, posing a risk to social cohesion. We've witnessed how such campaigns can incite violence and disrupt public order, as seen in other parts of the world. In the run-up to the 2008, 2012, and 2016 presidential elections, and Madam Sani, I'm not here to settle scores, I was the target of numerous false and malicious stories aimed at attacking my credibility and integrity. 2008, baseless allegations of drug trafficking were spread, along with numerous rumors about my health, intended to cast doubt on my ability to serve as president. President Buffon was also accused in 2008 of having sold all of Ghana's gold reserves. Again, the 2012 election saw false reports of my alleged arrest in London for drug possession and fabricated quotes designed to stir ethnic tensions. In 2016, it was alleged by sympathizers of the opposition that I had killed my late wife. Today, with a few months to the December 2024 elections, they are at it again. The fabricated document entitled Ejapade is being peddled around by operatives of the opposition as evidence of a grand scheme by my party to annex the state, the assets of the state. These experiences underscore the importance of discerning truth from falsehood and the need for all of us to remain vigilant against the dangers of misinformation and disinformation. As we approach the 2024 general elections, we have to address these challenges head-on. We should take proactive measures to curb the spread of false information and ensure that the public has access to accurate and reliable information. In today's digital age, the media, both traditional and digital, is central to shaping public opinion. It is essential that media outlets adhere to highest standards of journalistic integrity and accuracy. Journalists must be vigilant in verifying information before dissemination, and media houses must prioritize fact-checking and correcting false reports. Social media, while revolutionizing communication, has also become platforms for misinformation and disinformation. While social media has democratized information sharing, it has also made it easier for false information to proliferate. This poses an immense challenge, particularly during election periods when the stakes are high and the public's right to accurate information is paramount. It is important that these apps take proactive measures to identify and remove false content while promoting credible sources of information. Collaboration between governments and technology companies is imperative in this regard. The media landscape has evolved considerably over the last few decades, with the rise of digital platforms transforming the way we consume information. Traditional media outlets, including newspapers, radio, and television, have long been trusted sources of news. However, the advent of social media has introduced new dynamics, enabling the rapid spread of information to the global audience. Government recognizes the importance of working collaboratively with media organizations and technology companies to address this challenge. We have initiated dialogues with these stakeholders to explore effective strategies for combating misinformation and disinformation. We have undertaken several initiatives to address this challenge, such as A, strengthening regulatory frameworks. We've enhanced our legal and regulatory frameworks to hold individuals and organizations accountable for spreading false information. B, collaborating with technology companies. We're engaging with social media companies and other tech firms to develop mechanisms for monitoring and curbing the spread of false information. These partnerships are essential in our fight against digital misinformation and misinformation. C, public awareness campaigns. Educating the public about the dangers of misinformation and disinformation and how to identify false information is crucial. We will launch nationwide campaigns to raise awareness and promote media literacy among our citizens. And D, supporting fact-checking organizations. Fact-checking organizations play a vital part in verifying information and debunking false claims. Government will provide support to these organizations to enhance their capacity and reach. In addition to these efforts, I'm pleased to announce the government is in the process of putting in place a national action plan to combat misinformation and disinformation. This comprehensive plan, currently before Cabinet for its consideration and action, outlines strategic steps to address the spread of false information. The action plan aims to defend our democratic processes, protect the integrity of our elections, and promote an informed and engaged citizenry. By implementing this plan, we're taking a proactive stance to ensure that misinformation and disinformation do not undermine our hard-won democratic gains, as well as the peace and stability of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, political parties and candidates have a fiduciary duty to conduct themselves with integrity and honesty. The spread of false information for political gain undermines our democratic process and erodes public trust. campaigns. I urge all political actors to commit to truthfulness and transparency in their campaigns. We must all remember that our actions today will shape the future of our nation. Let us engage in constructive dialogue and present our ideas and policies to the electorate in a truthful and respectful manner. Campaigns should be based on substantive issues and policies rather than on the dissemination of false information or personal attacks. Political actors should demonstrate leadership and integrity by rejecting misinformation and disinformation and by promoting a culture of honesty and accountability. I also call on political parties and candidates to educate their supporters about the importance of peaceful conduct during the electoral process. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that the elections are conducted in an atmosphere of peace and respect, free of violence and intimidation. Civil society organizations are invaluable partners in the efforts to curb misinformation and disinformation. Their work in promoting transparency, accountability, and media literacy is essential. We encourage civil society to continue their advocacy and to work closely with government and other stakeholders. The public has also a crucial role to play. As consumers of information, we must be discerning and skeptical of the sources on which we rely. It's important to verify information before sharing it and to rely on reputable news sources. Each of us has a responsibility to contribute to a well-informed electorate. Media literacy is a key component of the strategy to combat misinformation. By educating citizens on how to evaluate properly information, we can empower them to make informed decisions and to recognize and reject false information. Civil society organizations and educational institutions have insightful contributions to make in promoting media literacy and critical thinking skills. I also encourage the public to participate actively in the democratic process because the democratic process is essentially about the public. This includes attending public forums, engaging with political candidates, and exercising their right to vote. An informed and engaged electorate is the foundation of a strong democracy. As we move towards the 2024 general elections, let us reaffirm our commitment to a fair and transparent electoral process. Misinformation and disinformation are challenges that require collective action. By working together, government, media, civil society, political parties, and the public, we can create an environment where truth prevails and our democracy thrives. In conclusion, I want to thank the Ghana Report for organizing this event and for their continuous efforts in promoting credible journalism. Let us all pledge to curb misinformation and disinformation as we prepare for the 2024 general election. Together, we can ensure that our elections result in true reflections of the will of the people and that Ghana continues to stand as a beacon of democracy and stability. May God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. May we please be seated. Now, as the executive head of
anointing one shop what university and now university and now college and now maybe biala will biala bra nonte one shop so we are brantie na wasi so na we wie school na so we ska bi da ho ana we ya banjuma mpo mo pontem bra nonte one shop dem fa nka WhatsApp group the two abehu prices no na so post them microphone na so nya kakra e dia chill school fees when kakra enye da bia na wo twan wo maame ana wo papa entwan aban o entwan obi a aha na yet to football to be can nonte one shop amamo mo ye djuma mlantie ne mabawa a mo nam benchiri enye benchiri bi mo ye wo top and down. Your t-shirt, your shirt, your boxer, your singlet, your joggers, your jeans. You can't jeans, your jeans. And never can have an intimate. The world 20 shop for more. Hey, Papa Chafamo now, what 20 shop for more, a form. Why, I got in your mom. And your mother for any back. And she's only 1,000 cities, 2,500. You may not be a bra, Mabuau, any baby. You will to a flower station. Who be a flower station? Because I saw anointing one shop. Okwala open your bachelor. Name so here chila kwan dia for a number 0243 63 3885.
Etufuo muba ebe ya mukama oba so hwe ma mi nyansa ya wo bag ya wo te se ya wo nyema bebre bitimi bi body ya wo nyema bebre ampa aboa edey investifo aya no mu nyina be fa nyama ton edi yo mu business
misima wie school am so no mai epe ntade nda ya ade ba no ntia na me de me ba no na mu se nyama ede da fam so on man na misimi discuss akra ede share mu am misima ede da start me business akra and to the baby, I'm going to be a umbrella.